Hello, I'm Savannah Collings and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay guys, it's me, Savannah, and if you've been to my channel before, you know me and that I own a lot of pets. And if you're new to my channel, this is Skittles. He is a rainbow lorikeet, and he is actually my parents' bird, but he's still in our house, so I still know him. He's actually trying to get to my birds behind me, although he would probably rip off Apollo's head. He really likes Poseidon though. I don't know why. Probably because Apollo's male and he's male, so it's just like they fight a lot, but like, yeah, anyways. So, somebody asked me to do a video about a rainbow lorikeet diet. If I can find it, I'll put it up. I'll put a picture somewhere around the screen. Okay, so calm down. Calm down. Yeah, he's being a little crazy. If he jumps off, don't worry. They tend to do that. He's just exercising or whatever. So, I decided I'll just do a full lorikeet care video. And so here we go. Rainbow lorikeets and lories in general, they tend to be very intermediate to advanced birds to keep because they take a lot of care and just needs in general. Their diet is very specific, and so yeah. Rainbow lories and lories in general tend to be about 12 inches long between the sexes. They're native to Australia and eastern Indonesia, where they will sleep in big flocks at night, and lories in the wild lories in captivity. Sorry, he's just being kind of crazy, so I'm thinking of two things at once. But lories will sexually mature at 2 years of age, and they will lay about 2 eggs per clutch, while some of the bigger birds will lay like 6. So that's about it for lories in the wild. There's not much to know about them. But in captivity, lories bathe often. So you're going to want to make sure that you have something for them to bathe in. A mister, you mist them every day or something. Or what we do is we keep these big water dishes. They're like this deep, and they're big enough to where he can get in it, and what he does is he gets in it and then he like flaps around and splashes around, so he's like completely drenched in water. It's pretty funny to see. We rarely see him doing it, so I'll try and get a video of him doing it before this video is uploaded, but I don't know if it'll work, but hopefully someday I'll be able to get it recorded. Lories will often sleep on their backs, which can often frighten new owners. Ours doesn't, for whatever reason, but I have read that they will often sleep on their backs, which can freak out new owners. Lorikeets are amazing, exuberant animals, but they are very intelligent. They are escape artists. They will leave their cage very easily, so a lock is necessary on the cages. Even just like a simple one of those locks where you lift it and put it in the little thing. They still might be able to get out of that, but it's best if you have one of the nice locks. Like, here, let me show you. On my cockatiel cage, even though they don't necessarily need it, they have one of these ones where it like pushes in, and then you press this button to open it. Most lories, ours hasn't yet, but these kinds of locks, this one is a little heavier, but these locks, they can tend to figure out to lift it up. Some of them have a smaller one of these, so they can lift it up easier. Lorikeets need a lot of toys. They need to be they need something to do all the time. They don't just sit there most of the time. They need toys a rotation of toys so that they don't get bored of them too. So the toys, they like bells, they like things that they can spin. Just make sure that they're very rough with their toys, so make sure that there's nothing they can get tangled in or something they can trap their toe in to break their toe or whatever. So yeah. But another thing, okay, going on to another place. I know this is kind of weird and choppy, but I'm learning. Okay. So lories are not very social with my birds will occasionally get along with him, but he and Apollo, the white one over there, they do not get along very well. He really likes Poseidon, probably because she's a girl. I know, weird name. He has bitten Poseidon before, or tried to bite her at least once or twice. So we do not let them go near each other anymore. Hey, calm down. So, yeah, lories have been known to kill birds much larger than them. So even if you have a really nice large bird, I would still not recommend having lories together, or lories with other bird species. So lories have weak gizzards, which means that they cannot eat what normal birds can eat. They can't digest seeds or most like harder foods. They eat fruit, and they can eat, so in the wild they'll eat fruit such as like mangoes and some other things I can't remember. It's on like the tip of my tongue. But anyways, or they'll eat hibiscus flowers. In captivity, what you could do is you can get this stuff, which comes in a powdered form. Here, I'll show you. Comes in a powdered form, much like crusted gecko food. It is, you want some? He's hungry. So, this stuff comes in a powdered form. So this stuff is just a powdered form. We use this thing, and we just put this in a dish, but you can also just you can also mix it with water, and it will become more of like an applesauce type texture, and the lory will eat it like that. But what we do is we supply water in his cage. So what he does is he gets this he eats this, and then he puts it in his mouth essentially, and then goes to the water and drinks the water, and which makes a liquid in his mouth, which is, although he does just like the powder as is apparently, but that's his main diet that we give him. There are more options out there, but we also really like this brand. It's I can't remember what we were using last time, but it wasn't as good for him, so his color started to dull down, and so we switched to this, and also we use this. It's a vitamin supplement for birds, and what we do is we just poke holes in the top like this, and we will sprinkle it onto both of the birds' water, and then just stir it in, and that's a vitamin supplement that they'll get in their water. And another thing we like to supplement is this tropical fruit pudding blend. I know it doesn't look like pudding, but what you do is you take some of this and you put it in a blender with some water, and then it becomes a pudding, and Skittles loves it. It's a little fattening for him and a little much, but we do it occasionally as a treat, more of. I wouldn't use it as an everyday food because it's pretty fattening. So this very liquidy diet tends to cause very liquidy droppings. Now these droppings are frequent, and they tend to be sprayed, which can be outside of the cage. I can show you what that looks like. So here we have puppy pads, which are usually spread over here a little bit more, but right now they're got a little tossed up because we have a dog who likes to mess with things. Hi, Angel. So here we have like shower curtains that we cut up and hook to the cage so that poop doesn't get sprayed out as much. Sorry about the lighting. You see all over here is poop that has been sprayed out. And this is only from like a week's worth of poop, maybe 2. I'm not sure how often they clean it. But see all the toys that are in here? See all that poop that's back there, too? And this is one of his favorite toys right here. He gets really angry when you mess with it because he loves it. See? He jumped all the way over to his cage. Now I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get him off. So essentially with these kinds of birds, especially if you're not their number one owner, which is my mom, he bonded to her specifically, and she can just stick her hand in there and he'll step up. But with me, since I'm not his number one person, lorikeets tend to choose favorites over with people. So when he was originally my dad's, but he picked my mom as his favorite, which can happen. He still likes my dad, but if my mom is in the room, he hates everyone. So I can't necessarily just put my finger up to him. He'll probably step up, but I'll probably get bitten in the process, which he has a very strong and sharp beak. So just be aware of that. If you have more people in your house when you're getting a lorikeet, that they could possibly bond to those other people. But as long as you spend a lot of time with them, they will learn that you are the best person. Okay, back onto the droppings. What we like to use is this just poop off bird poop remover. It instantly dissolves bird droppings, as it says on the package. What you do is you just spray it on the bird poop, and it's pretty safe on most, I'm not sure about wood flooring, but we have just tile flooring that looks like wood. So it's really easy to remove with that bird poop off stuff, and so you could wipe it off with a cloth or a sponge or anything. That's just what works for us. We also, when we do a deep clean on the cage, we will take apart the cage. We'll put all the bird toys in the dishwasher with no soap, just water. And then we'll take the cage outside and hose it down and scrub it off with some of that bird poop off stuff. And that cleans the cage really well. That's what I do with my birds too. So that's about it on the bird poop. Now, their personality. I've already talked about how they can bond to certain people and they choose favorites. And I also want to add that they're very intense. They have very intense, bubbly, and enthusiastic personalities. They want to be out of the cage most of the time. Although this one does like his cage more than some people. But he would rather be out. And my mom, whenever you see her at home, she has Skittles on her shoulder unless she needs to work or something like that. But he is out of the cage most of the time, or he's just on top of his cage, hanging out in the same room with a bunch of other people. What I would recommend is having a perch also in wherever you are the most. That's not where his cage is. We used to have a perch, but we found out that it's with a lorikeet, it can be very messy to have a perch, and my mom didn't like the way that it looked. But if it was up to me, then I would have a perch, and I'd probably clean up after it now that I know that my mom would kick it out. But yeah, it's nice having a perch with birds out in random places. So, as they're very enthusiastic, they tend to be nippy. I mean, anything with a mouth is able to bite. So, especially lorikeets in general, they will nip if they are afraid that they are going to their cage, or they will nip if they're excited, or sometimes they just are in a bad mood. Sometimes he'll just wake up and he'll be in a really bad mood and he'll just bite everyone, even my mom. So they are also, with their enthusiastic personality, they are also pretty good talkers and vocalists. As you've heard, he's not being very loud right now because he's kind of distracted, but I can try and get some videos of him being pretty talkative. And he says things like pretty bird and Angel, which is my dog's name, and he'll whistle for Angel. It's pretty cute. And he'll also say, my parents say he says Savannah, but I don't hear it. And he says Connor sometimes, and kisses. Most thing he says is Angel and pretty bird. And although he talks a lot, he doesn't know that many phrases, and he doesn't speak very clearly. While he is a good talker and he's very loud, he's not like the top vocalist on the list. There are better talkers out there, so if you're looking for a bird who can talk, Lori might not be for you. Although they are better than most small birds. Okay, and then just another side note about food is that if you use a liquid formula if you like mix the powder with water, or if you ever use that pudding blend, that stuff spoils very fast. So you have to change it out every day. You can't leave it out overnight or else it will spoil, and that can intoxicate your bird. And also there is a myth that goes around that lories don't need water, but that is a myth, and lories definitely need water in their habitat, especially if you're using the powder formula. So lorikeets can live about, he was just chewing on my earring. Lorikeets can live about 20 to 30 years, but most lorikeets don't usually live that long. They usually live like 10 to 15 years. But so even then, it's still a long-term commitment if you're looking for a lorikeet. You need to make sure that you're ready for this long-term commitment. With any pet in general, lots of pets live many years. So you just need to make sure that you know that. And you can find them we found Skittles at a avian specific store. It's a local avian store, which there are usually some, and sometimes they'll have them at pet stores, but I don't personally recommend it because animals at pet stores usually aren't treated very fairly. But it's your decision if you want, because even if you think that you're saving that bird, you're really just putting in money for them to further sell those kinds of animals. So it's your decision though, and I'll probably talk about that in another video. But that's Skittles. I'll try and put in some videos about him. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I just want to add that if you are looking for a lorikeet, don't just base off of my video. Do lots of research, and I would say months of research, because we didn't do that, and we love Skittles, but we weren't prepared for what he is. So there's a lot of expense and time that goes into having a lorikeet. So please do your research and then So, yeah. I hope you liked this video. If you did, press the like button down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And comment down below what videos you would want to see in the future. Not just animal videos, it can be whatever video that you want to recommend, whatever you want. Also, if you can click that bell icon to be notified of any videos that'll be posted in the future. And so yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.